Ladies and gentlemen, and a special good morning to His Excellency the Tuk, the representative of Malaysia to the region and in Kenya in particular, and also to His Excellency Honorable Habib. I send my greetings to all of you and hope that you're having a pleasant day wherever you are in the world. Today I'm here to talk to you about promoting trade between Malaysia and Uganda. Now these are two countries that both belong to the Commonwealth, and they have had very good ties for a very long time. And that's why we need to see that we are doing a lot more trade. From my point of view, we're not doing enough, certainly not enough. Yet there's so much potential, and I'd like to share with you a little bit of that potential. First of all, where is Uganda? And you will see on the screen that Uganda is at the center of East Africa and its neighbors. When you think of East Africa, the 5 countries that are in East Africa, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Burundi and Rwanda, and lately Southern Sudan. We're hoping that DRC Congo will be joining us shortly. And if they do, then we are 255 million people. Beyond that, the actual market, the regional market, goes as far as Ethiopia and Somalia. And when you include those, and even maybe a bit of Mozambique, you're talking about 500 million people. These are people that you can access by locating in Uganda. Whatever business you do, the opportunities go as far as that. Therefore, because of its central location, and now that we have got good infrastructure that connects with all these countries, we're still working on the DRC and trying to improve it because that's a huge market and a captive market. Many people think of us as being landlocked, but really we are really people linked. We are a country that is surrounded by people. We don't have a sea, a coastal sea on either side, because there you lose the opportunity of the people. So here we have markets that are really captive, and that's where I think Malaysia should focus. The Chinese have done exceptionally well and captured a good portion of the market, and we welcome them. But we welcome everybody else too. Now in Malaysia, because Malaysia and Ugandans speak a common language, English, we have a huge opportunity that is largely untapped. What are the key points that will attract you here? First of all, it's our improved infrastructure. I've talked a bit about that. We're working on the railways. We have an abundance of electricity now. Not only an abundance of electricity, but it is reliable and it is affordable. And those are the key ingredients for industrialization. It's probably the best location for industry, or to have your headquarters for your business here. It's got a stable business environment. When I say stable, we've had free and fair elections more than 5 times, peaceful change, peaceful transition of one government to another. One man stays at the top of the government, the old man with a hat we call him, and we love him because he's a predictable man. And business people, what we want is a predictable environment. We don't want a government that changes policies. Now this government's policies, amongst one of its policies is they do not make a U-turn on their policies. They have been reasonably consistent with all their policies. Many government incentives are given here. The land is provided free for any industrial project. And also we give 10-year tax holidays to those who come to invest in this country, and probably you've heard about that, mainly if you invest a certain amount of money. But I'm sure some other of my colleagues will talk more about the details of that. But this is probably the most liberalized economy in the region. When I say in the region might be as far as Africa. It's a completely liberalized economy. Very little government interference, no foreign exchange restrictions, and it's easy to train our young labor force. They are ready and hungry to go, and because they speak English, it's easy to work with them. Secondly, we have a huge agricultural comparative advantage. We have 2 reliable rainy seasons. We have low-cost rain-fed, which leads to organic agriculture. Agriculture is mainly organic because we do not use fertilizers. It is largely done through rain-fed agriculture. We have large tracts of fertile, flat land that are easy to mechanize and also easy to irrigate. It is best suited in the whole region to become the breadbasket. We could feed all these people, and there's huge demand. The future for food security in all the countries focuses around Uganda. There's a huge freshwater body of untapped potential, the Lake Victoria, which is shared by the 3 East African countries, but the bigger chunk is within Uganda, which also means there's huge fishing potential. And mao, which is taken from the fish, there's a huge demand for this mao industry, and it's controlled largely by very few people right now. Lastly, the dairy products for the local market and exports. Huge potential. It's largely untapped, and the production costs are much lower. Whether it's dairy or poultry, piggery, anything you choose to process in Uganda, It is lower cost because it's natural and it's rain-fed. The potential to be amongst the top 3 global coffee producers. Uganda has traditionally produced coffee. We have only decided to do it by design. It was largely by default before. And if we do so and do a bit of irrigation, a bit of fertilizers, we could easily be producing 10 million bags of coffee per year. And that will put us right back up in the top 5 or top 3 coffee producers of the world. There is a huge untapped mining potential in Uganda, mainly for minerals like gold, cobalt, iron ore, copper, nickel, rare earth, and vermiculite. These are some of the products and many others. But I want to talk a little bit about this rare earth. Rare earth minerals are in such high demand for the future. They are the minerals that everybody's looking for. Today, China produces 87% of all the rare earth in the world. The American government has just passed policies and laws to give a tax credit of up to $60 million for anybody who goes into the production of rare earth minerals. These are required for the production of windmills, smartphones, electronic vehicles, the batteries for electronic vehicles, and the like. So the demand is just surging for rare earth, and everybody's trying to get into this industry. Uganda has got plenty of this rare earth, but we need the capacity to mine it and develop it for production. We didn't want to export it in its raw format. So that is another area of promise. Uganda is this is a prime time for industrialization to bring your industries here, especially for the production of bulky goods. Because of the rapid rural urbanization, many more people are moving into apartments. Apartment living demands fridges, cookers, items like that. And therefore, we can no longer be importing these products from South Korea, from China. We've got to assemble them in Uganda. So factories that will be manufacturing, assembling these products in Uganda, this is their time. This is prime time. Because now the demand has grown. And I've talked about the size of the regional market. Because you cannot be shipping containers of these huge commodities. Washing machines, that's another area of growth. We've got to have them manufactured in an area. And here, because too much time is spent washing clothes manually. So the demand is going through the roof quietly, all these white goods. Wood value addition, processing of furniture, and also for the housing industry, the boom in the housing industry. It's now really taking off, and the right time for people interested in construction and industry to come here. The petroleum, oil and gas industry. Somebody will talk about this in detail, but this is another area for Uganda. We are now at the cusp of takeoff. A lot of time has been spent on putting our house in order, but now we're going to take off with the oil and gas industry. There will be a pipeline from Uganda to Tanzania, exporting oil about 200,000 barrels per day. But besides that, we are planning for a refinery here. And with that will come a chemical industry, a petrochemical industry, that will produce all kinds of chemicals and byproducts, including fertilizer and tarmac, bitumen. Fertilizer industry, huge potential because this is an agrarian society, largely an agrarian society. And we've been relying only on organic fertilizers and God-given. Now's the time where we can quadruple our production of anything simply by using fertilizers. But there's not a single fertilizer factory in the country. This spells volumes to an investor. It's pulling you to come and invest because there's so much potential in fertilizers. As I end, I would like to talk about ICT. There's so much potential in the ICT industry and fintech services. I have been to Malaysia and I've seen the growth, especially with the young people and the talent they have and what they have been able to do. With a little support, they have grown and tapped this world. If you bring this knowledge and share this knowledge with Ugandans who are really switched on, they are young, they are hungry for knowledge, and they have been trained with the basics in ICT, but they are not unlocking that potential, not moving successfully into the fintech space. And that's where the opportunity is. So we need to see how we can unlock this by bringing young people, sharing ideas, and tapping the opportunity. So many solutions have been made in the Western world, in America, and also in China and around the Asian tigers. Africa needs solutions, tailor-made solutions in ICT. A period has come now where we need to have more cloud services domiciled in this region because internet is available and electricity is readily available. Data mining, because our electricity cost is going to be as low as 5 cents per kilowatt. So much potential in the ICT industry, also for business process outsourcing. So some of these services have got to come into this region, and the earlier you come, the better it is. Lastly, I'm going to talk a little bit about tourism. Uganda is one of those pristine destinations with an unspoiled market for tourism, especially the high-end tourism. We're not targeting mass tourism. That is for some people who want to go to the beaches. We are not a country of beaches. We are a country of a niche market where you find the biggest family of gorillas in their natural habitat in the world in Uganda, in a place called Bwindi. Other people, there are only 3 countries with this wonderful rare species that is almost extinct. That is Rwanda and the DRC. At the corner is where the biggest family are in Uganda. And that's where it's easy to see these amazing creatures in their natural habitat. It's nothing like seeing them in a zoo. Going there live and experiencing the gorillas is something that is completely awesome. It gets your hormones going, it gets you thinking in different directions. You're not sure whether you should be running, flight, or you should be fighting. But you are just captured by the power of this amazing creature right next to you in its natural habitat. A very peaceful creature. It's something worth putting on your list before you die. Also, the tree climbing lions, they're only found in Uganda. There are lions largely in the whole region, but the tree climbing lions, you'll find them as a rare opportunity to see them in Uganda, where when you're looking and driving around the national parks, you're surprised to find these lions in the trees also looking at you very peacefully. Lastly is the beauty of our crater lakes. In the mountains, in the hills, we have amazing beauty. Scenic environment that is so tranquil, so serene, that you're very, very hard to find anywhere else in the world. And all this is untapped, but a country that is calling for people to come and see. We have been very poor at marketing our country. And I trust that when you come, or one of you comes, you will be our ambassador because you will tell the story for the rest of your life. I want to thank you very much.